The history of pirates, from ancient seas to the end of the Golden Age. Piracy has existed for as long as humans have traveled and traded across the seas. Throughout history, pirates have been feared as criminals, romanticized as adventurous rebels, and studied as a significant force in maritime history. While popular culture often portrays pirates as heroic outlaws or treasure-hunting adventurers, the reality of piracy was complex, violent, and deeply connected to global trade, imperial rivalry, and economic conditions. This essay explores the origins of piracy, its development across different historical periods, and its lasting impact on the world. Early piracy in the ancient world. The earliest recorded instances of piracy date back to ancient civilizations. As early as 1400 BC, Egyptian records mention attacks by sea raiders known as the Sea Peoples, who threatened Mediterranean trade routes. In ancient Greece, piracy was common and not always considered immoral. Homer's Odyssey refers to piracy as a normal occupation, and early Greek societies sometimes viewed it as an acceptable way to gain wealth. In the Roman Republic and Empire, piracy became a serious threat to commerce and security. Pirates operated across the Mediterranean, attacking merchant ships and coastal towns. By the 1st century BCE, piracy had grown so severe that Rome's grain supply was endangered. In response, the Roman Senate granted Pompey the Great extraordinary powers to eliminate pirates. His campaign was swift and successful, demonstrating the importance of naval power and centralized authority in controlling piracy. Piracy in the Middle Ages. During the Middle Ages, piracy continued to flourish, particularly in regions with weak naval control. In Northern Europe, Viking raiders from Scandinavia conducted extensive maritime raids between the 8th and 11th centuries. While often labeled as pirates, Vikings were also traders and explorers. Their longships allowed them to attack quickly and navigate both open seas and rivers, making them highly effective in the Mediterranean. Piracy was closely tied to religious and political conflict. Barbary pirates, operating from North African ports such as Algiers and Tunis, raided European ships and coastal settlements. They captured goods and enslaved thousands of Europeans. These pirates were often supported by the Ottoman Empire and played a major role in Mediterranean power struggles, the age of exploration, and the rise of privateering. 15th and 16th centuries marked the age of exploration, when European powers expanded their empires across the Atlantic and beyond. As global trade increased, so did piracy. Spanish treasure fleets carrying gold and silver from the Americas became prime targets. During this period, many pirates were actually privateers, sailors authorized by governments to attack enemy ships during wartime. Privateers operated under official licenses called letters of marque, which made their actions legal in the eyes of their sponsoring nations. Famous figures such as Sir Francis Drake were celebrated as heroes in England, but viewed as pirates by Spain. The line between piracy and privateering was often unclear. When wars ended or licenses expired, many privateers turned to outright piracy, continuing their attacks without legal protection. The Golden Age of Piracy, approximately 1650–1730, is the most famous period in pirate history. This era was centered in the Caribbean, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Indian Ocean. Several factors contributed to its rise, including increased global trade, unemployed sailors after major wars, and weak naval enforcement in distant colonies. Famous pirates of this era include Blackbeard, Edward Teach, Captain Kidd, Bartholomew Roberts, Anne Bonny, and Mary Read. Contrary to popular belief, pirates rarely buried treasure. Instead, they spent their loot quickly on food, alcohol, weapons, and entertainment. Pirate ships operated with surprisingly democratic systems. Crews often elected their captains and shared loot according to agreed-upon rules known as Articles of Agreement. These systems offered greater equality and freedom than life aboard merchant or naval ships, where discipline was harsh and pay was low. Life and reality of pirates despite romantic legends. Pirate life was dangerous and often short. Disease, injuries, storms, and violent encounters were common. Pirates relied heavily on captured supplies, and food shortages were frequent. Medical care was limited, and wounds often led to death. Pirates used fear as a weapon. Their flags, known as the Jolly Roger, were designed to intimidate victims into surrendering without a fight. While pirates preferred to avoid battle when possible, violence was common when resistance occurred. The decline of piracy. By the early 18th century, major naval powers began to take piracy seriously. Governments strengthened their navies, improved trade protection, and offered pardons to pirates willing to surrender. International cooperation increased, and pirate havens were destroyed. Captured pirates faced severe punishment. Public executions served as warnings to others. As naval patrols expanded and trade routes became more secure, piracy declined significantly by the mid-18th century. Pirates in the modern world. Though the classic age of pirates ended, piracy never completely disappeared. Modern piracy has occurred in regions such as the Horn of Africa, Southeast Asia, and parts of West Africa. These pirates often target commercial ships for ransom rather than cargo. Modern piracy is driven by economic instability, political conflict, and weak law enforcement. International naval coalitions now work to combat piracy, highlighting that the issue remains relevant in global security discussions. Cultural legacy of pirates have left a powerful cultural legacy. Literature, such as Treasure Island and films like Pirates of the Caribbean, have shaped popular images of pirates as adventurous rebels. While these portrayals are exaggerated, they reflect society's fascination with freedom, rebellion, and life outside authority. Conclusion: the history of pirates is deeply connected to the history of trade, empire, and the sea. Pirates were not merely criminals, but products of their time, shaped by economic hardship, political conflict, and opportunity. While piracy brought suffering and violence, it also challenged powerful empires and influenced naval law and maritime security. By understanding pirate history, we gain insight into the complexities of global trade, the realities of life at sea, and the enduring human desire for freedom and survival.